All right, everybody, I just want to do a little quick follow-up. This will be a warning to all politicians. I'm running for president in 2024, part 135B, I believe. Anyhow, the thought processes of a lot of people around the world and here in America, there seems to be some kind of mental disconnect as to what's important and you know, just the basic simple things of there's a problem, what can be done about it, and etc. And then the politicians, you know, don't have any answers, or they'd rather talk about something else. And the reporters, it's like, who's giving these people their journalism degrees? Because the questions they ask and the things they focus on are like, you know, I was watching that Kayleigh McEnany, is that her last name? And this reporter asks her, you know, and this has been a running thing with these stupid questions that she gets asked, you know, is Donald Trump going to set an example and take the vaccine shot? Shouldn't he be out in the front, showing people it's safe, etc., this and that? You know, it's kind of like, well, why isn't he wearing he should be wearing a mask. Set an example. People are going to get sick and die because he's not wearing a mask. Look here. If you can't think for yourself as to whether you want to wear a mask or not, or you should wear a mask, you might as well hang it up, and you're waiting to see what some politicians telling you to do. And I see they're talking about making that doofus Cuomo attorney general. You know, most of these people are brain dead. I don't know what they did before politics, but mostly you can tell don't have any real life experience, and they're dumb as a box of rocks. But who's giving these reporters their journalism degrees? You know, it's kind of like out here driving. I asked the question. I see a lot of the stuff done in the way guys drive and stuff, and it's like, who's training you? Who is training these people and putting them out on the road? You know, when I came up and I was trained, you know, there was a lot of older guys still out here, and you were told do it the right way and be a professional, or you know, don't do it at all. We don't need you out here. You know, with winter coming and everything, you know, it's been a thing out here, but it's progressively gotten worse. You got these bozos who, for some reason, think the faster you drive on ice and snow, it means the better driver you are. You know, and any moron can get a truck rolling on snow and ice. And you try and tell them it's the stopping and the steering part, you know, that you should be concerned with, and the other hazards on the road. But they'll go by you and they'll yell on the CB and stuff at other people, you know, about they're going too slow and they need to park it and blah, 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 and they're afraid and all kinds of crap like this and everything. And I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, you'll see that same asshole in a ditch somewhere up the road. And they'll be screaming at somebody else's fault. Well, that son of a bitch was going too slow, got in my way, cut over my lane. Hey, moron, it's wintertime. You're supposed to expect that kind of shit, is why you drive slower, not faster, and bitch at everybody else who's taking the right precautions because they know something could happen and they should be going slow enough to handle the situation. So there's a mental disconnect with these fucking morons. And it's not just in trucking. I mean, it's in the press. It's, you know, hundreds of thousands, millions of people homeless on the street in this country. Go to any city. I see it all the time. Tents and cardboard boxes and stuff lined up for miles on their overpasses and stuff, and garbage strewn everywhere. You know, you got San Francisco, you know, they allow them to defecate on the street and all this types of stuff. And what's the question the press asks? Why ain't Donald Trump wearing a mask? Why ain't Donald Trump getting a shot first? Why aren't you in these cities asking these people, like AOC, like Cuomo? You know, I was just up in New York not too long ago. Guys with signs out in the stop traffic on the freeway there, like all the time, like has always been. Panhandling for money. Why aren't you asking these people in these cities, what are you going to do about the homeless problem in the city? No, instead they want to ask him some question about Trump wearing a mask so they can bloviate for 15 fucking minutes on what a lousy leader Donald Trump is. While they have people living in tents and cardboard boxes and shooting up drugs right on their city streets. Shows you how disconnected the politicians are because they can't even see the problems in their own cities. They pass by it every day. Are they too busy? Are their windows in their cars so tinted that they can't see what's going on in their own cities? Do they have to have somebody come and tell them there's a problem? Do they not see the traffic backups every day and they don't do anything with getting new roads designed or bridges or what have you? No. They want to go on with this phony crap about Russian collusion and all this and Donald Trump not wearing a mask. They are more worried about their political games than they are taking care of the business at hand. And there's a mental disconnect with the public in this country because they would rather have that National Enquirer kind of bullshit to talk about every day instead of saying, hey, here's the problem. Fix it. Or get the fuck out of office. I'm sorry for my language, and like I said in my last one, that's why I am no example for any religion or to be looked at as a spokesperson for anything, because I just see things, and it's like, whether you want to say it irks me or, you know, pet peeves or I just see things going on in our society, and it's like, hey, moron. All this other stuff's going on and that's what you want to focus on? You see real problems. And like I see out here with the way these guys drive and the way they're being taught and everything. And it's like, hey, there's a problem out here. Anybody paying attention? You're putting people behind the wheel out here that shouldn't be behind the wheel out here. You know, so I just look at things in more of a plain or direct way, you know, you know, it's not really like pet peeves or something, but you know, it's just the thought processes of people. Like when I go to a shopping center, I don't try and get the closest spot up front. You know, when I'm in my personal vehicle, and go to the Walmart or the mall or what have you, I see the first available spots, pulling in. Sometimes, you know, I could even get closer. There's more, but I'll park and I'll walk out. And when my son comes and we go in his car, and he's always trying to get up closer, I'm like, there's a spot right there. We'll just walk it. No, he wants to get up closer. And then inevitably, he'll find one spot, and then him and somebody else will be, you know, going for and it's a pissing match over a parking spot. You see people getting fights in shopping centers all the time over a parking spot. What is wrong with your mental process? It's saying road rage, stupid crap. What is wrong with your mental process? It's a freaking parking spot. If you take the first ones available when you pull in, there's no problem. Walk a little bit. It's not going to kill you. But sometimes, you know, I don't want to bash anybody or anything like that, but I know he gets some of his attitude sometimes, my son I'm referring to, from my ex, because she'll get in a pissing match with anybody over anything and it's like, life is short. Why make it that aggravating and complicated and give yourself a bunch of grief, or let somebody else give you a bunch of grief? Take the easy way. You understand? Life is short. The less ripples, the better. There's enough that goes on that's out of your control that can make life frustrating. Why add to it? So, I just wanted to bring that up, you know, the thought processes, all the problems we have. I try and, you know, hey, here's a problem, and this will be part of my platform. There's a problem. Here's what we're going to do to fix it. Here's the best way to fix it. Not going to be a bunch of National Enquirer shit. You know, if somebody's not wearing a mask, or somebody said this, or somebody, you know, just moronic questions. You know, and no digging into the facts, and the constant crap, you know, like that Kaylee lady had to explain to the reporter. The president, you know, because Biden made a comment, and, you know, Trump's messing with democracy or something like that and everything. And she pointed out to the reporter, brought that, no, he's using our democratic process. This is part of our constitutional process. If there was fraud or corruption or whatever, he has a legal right and he has an obligation, a duty. They don't report it that way. Just, oh, Trump won't leave out. Trump still falsely claiming fraud, when there's more than enough evidence that there has been fraud. Can you news agencies at least, you know, how are we supposed to fix anything if you're playing so much fucking politics with shit that you won't even address a problem? It's like the moron who was in the street. Oh, it's a peaceful demonstration, and there's buildings burning behind him. You're morons. The thought processes that you're instilling this into other people to think like you. Whether you're on the left or the right, you should be for solving problems and the truth. And not allowing politicians and so-called experts off with an easy pass. Just because, you know, like with global warming. Oh, we're going to do this and that. And well, don't ask them any hard questions. Don't point out facts to them that what they're talking isn't green. These big solar farms, that's not green. You got to clear a lot of land for that. And doesn't vegetation take in CO2 and give off oxygen? That's what I learned in school, anyhow. Trees and stuff and vegetation was good because they gave off oxygen, took in carbon dioxide. You know, if you own a home, you want to make the expenditure and put solar panels on your house, more power to you. More power to you. But if you want to subsidize all these companies putting up stuff that's not going to do anything except make them rich, you can kiss my ass. You know, if you want to go out and spend $10,000, $20,000, whatever, putting solar panels on your house, more power to you. When you sit down and you figure out, you know, what's it going to save you? 25 bucks, 50 bucks a month? Probably not that. In electric bills, how long it will take you to get your money back? Because, you know, then you well, maybe this ain't a good investment. Oh, but then you have people, oh, we'll get subsidies and tax breaks for it and all this and everything else. Again, you know, passing on the cost to somebody else, which is bullshit. You know, but they all talk about, well, whatever the cost, we have to do it to save the planet, whatever the cost. But when it comes to that cost coming out of their pocket, as in putting the panels on their own house that they're not going to see any return on, I don't want to pay that cost. Give me a subsidy. Give me a tax break. They all talk the talk, none of them walk the walk. So anyhow, I wanted to follow that up. You know, there's a mental disconnect with a lot of people in this country that just the thought process is just absurd. You know, let's muddle through all this horse shit and National Enquirer type stories, and gossip and supposed scandal and all this, instead of fixing anything in the country. Instead of pressing the politicians, hey, what's the solution to this? As a journalist, you're supposed to be educated. So if you're going to talk about global warming with some politicians and supposed experts, you're supposed to have some hardball questions, looking at it from every side. If it's about voter fraud, you should, whether they're Democrat or Republican, you should be demanding, hey, this is a threat to our democracy. What do we need to do to fix this? No, what's the question? Will Donald Trump be getting the vaccine shot? Don't you think he should get the shot first? He's already had COVID. Means his immune system, I don't know if he can get it again or not. I don't think so. And while we're talking about that, there's a guy who testified, a researcher, a medical doctor, researcher, I forget what group he's with or university, but testified about this certain steroids that can keep you from getting the COVID. Testified before Congress. Don't see that in the news anywhere. Of course, everyone wants to push for this vaccine now. You don't see anything else other than the narrative that they want to push. And you're seeing that with social media, and they keep saying mainstream news media and everything. It's political propagandist media. It's not news media. It's a newsworthy item as to whether or not Donald Trump is going to take a vaccine or not. I don't give a shit whether he takes a vaccine or not. It's like I don't give a shit about his taxes. I care about what's his policies for the United States. You know, like cutting our taxes. Bringing jobs back. All the things he's done. The things he's done with you know, peace deals in the Middle East. Hey, none of that matters. Is Donald Trump going to get a vaccine shot? Why ain't he wearing a mask? You're a bunch of jackasses. I can't freaking believe it. And there's so many brain dead people out there that listen to you, that think the things you talk about, they should be talking about at work or around the water cooler or whatever. You know, Donald Trump, he won't take a vaccine shot. He ain't wear a mask. Hey, jackass, take a look around your neighborhood, around your community. What things need fixing, and why aren't the people in your state and local government fixing them? Who gives a shit if Donald Trump takes a vaccine shot or not? Go watch cartoons the rest of your life, all right? Just do us all a favor. Y'all keep your mouths shut and go watch cartoons the rest of your life, because that's your mental acuity level, all right? Do you understand that? Either get your heads out of your asses and start thinking with the brain God gave you, or just go watch cartoons. Go smoke your dope and watch cartoons for the rest of your friggin' life. And keep your mouth shut. All right, everybody. Sorry for if I offended anybody by blowing off like that with my language and stuff. I'm sorry. Not sorry for what I talked about, but my language. I'll apologize for my language. So, wish you all the best out there. And be careful out there on the roads. Winter's coming. Bad storm hitting the Northeast right now. So many things that need attention in this country and around the world, and these people, all they can do is play political games, and it's happening in every country. You look at stuff on YouTube from England or Australia and other places. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The politicians and people in the news media, the IQ levels are just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. All right, wish you all the best out there. God bless.